video, and it looked like Shedeur Sanders allegedly could be getting the hell out of Cleveland. My personal opinion on this whole Shedeur leaving thing, the whole Shedeur getting traded. Now, I want Shedeur to get out of Cleveland. I feel like the organization has not been fair to him. They have not been giving him his just due, I should say. And me personally, I feel like he should leave. Now, with that being said, do I feel like the Cleveland Browns is going to trade Shedeur Sanders? No, I do not.
Miami just dropped a football bomb so loud the whole league felt the aftershock. The Dolphins didn't just lose, they got destroyed by the Browns so badly that even the Atlantic Ocean wanted to check on them. Now Miami's front office is in panic mode, plotting the wildest revenge move imaginable, straight up hijacking Shedeur Sanders from Cleveland. The same Cleveland that benched the Golden Kid for a guy named Gabriel, like they're running Sunday service instead of an NFL offense. It's chaos, it's desperation, it's Miami energy cranked to the max. 1 win, 6 losses, and a whole lot of embarrassment. The Dolphins, once the flashiest show on turf, now look like a team sponsored by sadness and bad decisions. Every play looks like a cry for help written in yard lines and broken dreams. The city's losing its mind. Fans are melting down, some pretending it's fine, others calling for a full rebuild before Halloween even ends. The front office, they're out here creeping through Cleveland's quarterback closet, looking for a miracle wrapped in diamond chains and swagger, because apparently that's the only way out of this mess. Let's rewind, because the real madness started up north. The Cleveland Browns, yes, those Browns, turned Miami into a living, breathing meme. 31-6. That's not a game. That's a public service announcement for how not to play football.
Cleveland. I don't really care about the Cleveland Browns, so I'm not going to fight their battles. I'll let Josina Anderson take care of that. All I'm saying is I see a talent, a guy I think we all talked about him as a guy that could at least be a serviceable starting quarterback in the NFL. They are not giving him a chance in Cleveland. If I'm Darren Muji, I call up my my contemporaries in Cleveland, yes, and I say, here's a 5th-round pick back. Here's your 5th back. Let's get Shedeur in here, and let's see what the kid has got, because
it wasn't just a loss. It was a full-blown life lesson written in turf burns and broken pride. You could practically see the scoreboard blushing from secondhand embarrassment. Cleveland didn't just win, they performed open-heart surgery on the Dolphins' pride and then tap-danced on the remains like it was halftime entertainment. It was brutal, clinical, and absolutely humiliating. Now the Dolphins' whole season looks like a PowerPoint presentation titled How to Fail in Every Possible Way. Tua Tagovailoa, once the bright savior of Miami, has turned into a turnover machine. 10 interceptions, 11 touchdowns. That's not a stat line. That's a perfectly balanced diet of disappointment. Watching him throw lately feels like watching a magician who keeps sawing himself in half over and over again. Then came the Tyreek Hill disaster, the injury that unplugged the entire offense. The once electric fastest show on turf is now crawling like it's stuck in first gear. Every drive feels like waiting in Miami traffic with the radio frozen on static. Without Tyreek, this offense runs on hope and decaf. They look lost, like someone unplugged the power cord and walked away. And don't even get started on Mike McDaniel, the so-called genius, the philosopher coach, the NFL's favorite tech bro. Remember when he was the cool mind with the shades, the clever press conferences, the creative playbook that made defenses question reality? Yeah, that guy's gone, replaced by a confused version of himself staring at his play sheet like it's written in Klingon. What happened, Mike? The vibe, the rhythm, the magic, all gone in a puff of Florida humidity.
The Shedeur Sanders name surfaced in blockbuster trade proposal to QB-needy AFC team. Shedeur Sanders' name emerged in the blockbuster proposal. Goes on to say, let me see here, since the Cleveland Browns traded veteran quarterback Joe Flacco, rookie Shedeur Sanders has moved up to second string. And what's crazy is that we all know that Shedeur Sanders is listed as the second string quarterback, but what really pissed everybody off today and yesterday is not only Kevin Stefanski stating Shedeur Sanders haven't received any first-team reps. You got offensive coordinator Tommy Rees double stamping it, bro. And that's, I don't know, man. It's looking weird, dog. Weird as hell.
The creativity's gone, the sparks vanished, and the only thing lighting up Miami right now is the dumpster fire smoldering behind that offensive line. The once innovative Dolphins are now running plays that look like leftovers from someone else's playbook. But here's where the story takes a wild turn, straight into the Twilight Zone. Word from a credible insider says Miami's about to make the boldest, craziest move of the season, a full-blown panic buy for salvation. They're not fixing their system. They're replacing it with Shedeur Sanders. Yes, that's Shedeur Sanders, the rookie with the golden arm, the diamond drip swagger, and the kind of confidence that makes cameras zoom in without being asked. He's got sunglasses, swagger, and a sideline aura like he was born under a spotlight. Miami's front office sees him as their miracle in designer cleats, a walking headline waiting to explode on every sports network. And get this, he hasn't even taken a single NFL snap yet. 0! But somehow, this man's already the talk of the league. That's the Shedeur effect. Part promise, part myth, part viral Instagram highlight reel. Cleveland, in their endless confusion, benched him for another quarterback named Gabriel, because apparently the Browns can't resist turning potential legends into glorified sideline props. So now, Shedeur's just sitting there collecting dust while Cleveland pretends it's fine. Fans are in full denial mode, convincing themselves they don't need a rocket-armed prodigy with the confidence of a Bond villain and the star power to flip a franchise overnight. Cleveland's sticking with Gabriel.
You have no use for Shedeur, play him, increase his draft stock, increase his trade value, and then make the trade. The Baltimore Ravens already want Shedeur. By the end of the trade deadline, they might trade for Shedeur knowing, hey, we're not going to play Lamar Jackson the rest of the season. We're eliminated from the playoffs. Cooper Rush, he's not our future. Snoop Huntley's been here for 4 years, and he's cool, but we know his ceiling. And more than anything, the Ravens know how to manage a personality like Shedeur. They're not scared of those personalities.
Yeah.
They got Lamar Jackson. They had Ray Lewis. They had Terrell Suggs. They had Ed Reed. Like, the Ravens aren't intimidated by guys with big personalities, by guys with aura, by guys with
A quarterback whose main skill seems to be existing. That's it. Meanwhile, Miami smells blood in the water. The Dolphins are desperate, and desperation makes NFL teams do wild, reckless things. They're eyeing Cleveland's rookie like a man staring at his neighbor's Ferrari while his own car leaks oil in the driveway. It's envy, panic, and delusion all rolled into one shiny trade rumor. Their plan? Hijack Shedeur Sanders before the trade deadline and slap his face all over South Beach football. Just think about that. A team that can't even run motion plays without Tyreek Hill now wants to hand the playbook to a rookie with more swagger than experience. This isn't a rebuild. It's an experimental art project powered by panic and espresso. And imagine being Tua right now. 1 minute, you're the face of the franchise, the golden child of Miami. The next, you're the guy everyone's blaming for the meltdown. The whispers are everywhere. The fans are restless. The city's already mocking up Shedeur 1 jerseys with palm trees on the back, and Coach McDaniel's probably Googling how to trade politely without starting a riot. Tua's struggles have gone from bad to downright cosmic. He looks like he's playing a different sport out there, like everyone else got the rule book and he got a coloring book instead. The Dolphins' offense might as well be titled, How to Confuse Your Quarterback in 10 Steps. Watching Tua read defenses lately feels like watching someone try to order sushi at a drive-thru. Awkward, confusing, and painful to watch.
The Miami Dolphins should go and trade for Shedeur Sanders. Tua clearly is not that guy. Granted, you got money tied into him. So if that's the reason fans are going to say why they ain't going to get Shedeur, that's fine. That's fair. But just if they plan on getting rid of Tua, turn the ball over, which I think they plan to do sooner rather than later, just if somebody will take his contract, why not go get Shedeur? You can probably get him for a low price, and he can come in and he can't be any worse than what Tua's been. Why not get Shedeur?
And McDaniel, the offensive genius, he's hanging by a single fraying thread. Every post-game press conference looks like a hostage video. Mike McDaniel sitting there with that glazed stare, saying all the right words while silently screaming inside. And now he's getting the dreaded vote of confidence from ownership, the NFL's version of "we'll call you." Everyone knows what that means. The job's on fire, the walls are closing in, and he's one loss away from becoming a cautionary tale with a clipboard. When your season's collapsing faster than a paper umbrella in a hurricane, you pull the oldest trick in the book. You find yourself a shiny new quarterback to distract everyone from the wreckage. And that's where Shedeur Sanders enters the picture. The kid's got everything Miami craves. Arm strength that could launch rockets, charisma that lights up every room, and the kind of swagger that makes GMs lose all sense of logic. His college numbers? Straight video game mode. A 74% completion rate, over 4,000 yards and 37 touchdowns. That's the resume of a future superstar. And somehow, Cleveland looked at that and said, maybe next year. Meanwhile, Miami's foaming at the mouth. They see a golden ticket, a miracle in cleats, a human Red Bull ready to jolt life into a team running on pure fumes.
All right, it's just a little rumor I heard on Instagram of all websites that they want to put Shedeur Sanders on the Miami Dolphins. I don't really think highly of Shedeur Sanders or Colorado Buffalo, honestly. But I am tired of Tua, so I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, Shedeur Sanders on the Miami Dolphins. I'm wearing my Tua jersey right now. Ironically, I say that. But my question is, will he stay healthy? Can he make it to the playoffs? Is he as good as everyone says he is? And apparently, from what I'm reading, is Deion Sanders wants him on the Dolphins. But
they're not thinking about chemistry or fit. Forget all that. They're thinking headlines, ticket sales, and saving their jobs before the season officially sinks. The Dolphins want noise, hype, and hope, even if it's built on fantasy. Because here's the raw truth. When a team hits rock bottom, logic becomes optional. And right now, Miami's living in the land of why not. Why not trade for a guy who's never played? Why not bench Tua? Why not pretend a 23-year-old rookie can fix a team that folds under pressure? This is Miami, baby, a city that doesn't just thrive on chaos, it markets it. If this trade actually happens, Miami would turn it into a parade before the ink even dries. South Beach would be lit up with billboards of Shedeur Sanders, sunglasses, smile, and all, before he's even memorized the first page of the playbook. And the fans, oh, they'd eat it up instantly. In Miami, hope sells faster than jerseys. And right now, Shedeur is the hottest brand of hope money can buy. Meanwhile, over in Cleveland, they're doing their best impression of calm, pretending they're totally fine sticking with Gabriel. It's almost cute. Because let's be honest, the Browns' quarterback history reads like a Wikipedia page for bad decisions. Every era, every new start somehow ends the same disaster. They're like that friend who swears they're happy in a toxic relationship saying, "This time it's different," while everyone else can see the heartbreak coming from a mile away. Shedeur is their golden ticket, their best-kept secret, and Miami knows it. If the Dolphins wave enough draft picks around, or maybe even toss Tua into the mix, Cleveland might actually bite. Just imagine it. Tua in orange and brown, staring down a fan base still haunted by the ghost of Johnny Manziel.
Business is it when you've got a 5'9" quarterback running around and could twist an ankle, and Shedeur would have to play Sunday in Foxborough, and he's not getting any reps? That seems like bad preparation, no?
It does. You wouldn't question it if you know you had a backup.
If it was Kelly Holcomb, yeah, right. If it was, yeah, right. I wouldn't. It's not. It's a kid they haven't. He hasn't taken first-round team reps with anybody yet.
It's almost like, you know, the coach is saying, "Okay, you gave me 2 rookie quarterbacks. I'm going to prepare one of them, and we'll see what happens if he goes."
Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders steps off the plane in Miami like a superstar entering his destiny. Cameras flashing, music blasting, fans losing their minds as if the Super Bowl parade came early. It's wild, it's poetic, and it's completely unhinged. Miami's offense is in ruins. Their coach is desperate, their fans are furious, and their quarterback is broken beyond repair. So naturally, their big fix is to hand the keys to a rookie who's never taken a single professional snap. What could possibly go wrong in South Beach Chaos Central? Let's not kid ourselves. If this trade goes down, the internet would explode. Sports media would go into full meltdown mode. ESPN would run breaking news banners for a week straight. Talk shows would argue until their mics short-circuited, and Twitter would literally melt into chaos. You'd have Shedeur Sanders dropping cryptic emojis on Instagram, Miami fans photoshopping him in teal faster than graphic designers can blink, and Cleveland pretending they totally meant to trade him all along. But here's the twist. This insane, last-second panic move might actually work, because for all the chaos, all the hype, Shedeur represents something Miami hasn't felt in ages. Electricity. Not the kind that powers the lights, but the kind that powers belief. The Dolphins don't need another system tweak or some analytical adjustment. They need a spark. A personality jolt so strong it shakes the whole locker room awake. They need someone who walks in and makes everyone forget they're sitting at 1-6.
This is the truth, Browns fans. This is what actually happened. The Browns picked Dillon Gabriel over Shedeur Sanders. This was a Stefanski decision. This was a Barry decision. The Browns made their assessment of talent, and they really thought that Dillon Gabriel was better than Shedeur. I disagree with it. You disagree with it. Browns fans all over the world disagree with it. People on social media disagree with the decision that Kevin Stefanski and the Browns front office made. But this is how they're going to run their offense. This is how they're going to make their decisions, is based on that fact to them that Gabriel's a better quarterback or more NFL.
Someone who scares defenses before he even snaps the ball. Someone who can throw farther than the distance between McDaniel's excuses and the owner's patience. This isn't about stats anymore. This is about spectacle. And Miami runs on spectacle. The city breathes drama, lives for it, and loves it louder than any other fan base in the league. So why fight it? Lean into the madness. They've already lost their dignity. Might as well gain some headlines. Just picture the first press conference, Shedeur in designer shades, flashing that trademark grin, talking about energy and competition, while Tua quietly updates his LinkedIn profile under the table. Cameras flashing, fans screaming, reporters scrambling, South Beach football turning into a full-blown reality show before he's even taken a snap. The cameras flash, the crowd roars, and for the first time in months, Miami feels alive again. That's how the Dolphins sell hope, loud, flashy, and dripping in drama. They don't whisper optimism, they broadcast it like a halftime show. No guarantees, no plans, just pure spectacle and shiny distractions. Meanwhile, Cleveland will sit there pretending they made a smart business move. They'll say Gabriel fits their system, whatever that even means, while cashing in the draft picks and releasing a PR statement about long-term vision. Translation, they're about to watch Miami steal every headline for the rest of the year. And here's the ticking clock. The trade deadline looms on November 4th. Miami's got 2 weeks to decide if they're rebuilding or self-destructing. But let's be honest, history says they'll do both. One bad loss to the Falcons in Week 8, and this rumor turns into prophecy. The moment that final whistle blows, McDaniel's going to be dialing Cleveland before the plane even touches down in Florida.
Piece that I think I've gotten wrong at points, I think we collectively get wrong, is none of this is traditional. None of this is how you're supposed to do it. All of this was built on a very shaky premise. So you're trying to build something sustainable, something successful on a foundation that in and of itself you looked and went, I don't know if that's going to hold. I don't know if any of those 4 building blocks are going to do a damn thing.
There was a whole article about how Stefanski's played this quarterback spot out perfectly. And it was like, huh? I don't even remember what website it was. I was going through the headlines of different Browns articles and such, and it was like, wait, what? They've done this perfectly.
Was it written by Steven Kostansky?
I got so insulted by it, I didn't even click into...
Because desperation in the NFL has a smell, and it's nasty. It smells like bleach, panic, and freshly printed jerseys. And nothing screams, we have no idea what we're doing, louder than swapping your veteran quarterback for a rookie who hasn't even faced a real NFL blitz. It's reckless, it's risky, and it's so Miami. But here's the wild part. Miami fans would love it. They'd go insane for it. They'd convince themselves Shedeur's the chosen one, the savior of South Beach. They'd forget the 31-6 embarrassment, the interceptions, the benchings, all of it wiped clean the second he steps on that field in teal and orange. Because in Miami, it's not logic that keeps the franchise alive. It's belief. Blind, burning, beautiful belief. And that's what makes this story so perfect. It's equal parts insane and inevitable. The Dolphins need saving, Shedeur Sanders needs a stage, and Cleveland needs to stop hoarding quarterbacks like they're collectible action figures. On paper, everybody wins, or at least everyone thinks they do. And if it all blows up in flames, well, it's Miami. Chaos actually looks good under palm trees. By the time the trade deadline hits, don't be shocked if this story jumps from rumor to reality. All the signs are flashing red. The pressure's boiling. The fans are restless. The coach is desperate. And the quarterback looks completely lost.
They know this was coming with Shedeur.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Of course they knew. I remember talking to people with the Browns prior to the draft, and they were like, and basically the messaging to me was, yes, he had special privileges. It's Prime's kid. What do you expect? But he's not a bad kid. Like, they really liked the person of Shedeur. And by the way, I have to agree with that. Not that I've spent a ton of time around him. I haven't. It's been very limited. But he comes off as extremely likable. Oh, yeah. And he went right to work, like visiting kids in the inner city. He goes to high school football games on Friday nights and takes pictures with the kids and signs autographs. He loves to joke around. Like, he's extremely...
And somewhere in Cleveland, you just know Shedeur is sitting there on the sideline, staring at the field, thinking, maybe I belong in Miami after all. So yeah, call it crazy, call it reckless, call it a last-ditch Hail Mary, but after that 31-6 humiliation, Miami doesn't need careful. They need chaos. They need fireworks, not field goals. And Shedeur Sanders, he's not just the answer, he's the storm. The kind of storm that flips the script, shakes the league, and turns disaster into primetime theater. Because when your season's already gone off the rails, the only thing left to do is make it interesting. And Miami's front office knows that better than anyone. They're sweating harder than a quarterback in Buffalo in December, watching their playoff dreams vanish. So what do? They double down. They decide waiting's overrated. Miracles take too long. They want fireworks, flashbulbs, and full-blown mayhem. They want Shedeur Sanders, the college highlight reel turned NFL chaos generator. Because in Miami, when everything's falling apart faster than a folding chair at a tailgate, the only rule left is simple. Go big, go bold, or go home in flames. You might as well go out swinging. The rumor mill's on fire and the whispers are spreading fast.
You see Shedeur in the fourth quarter. Kevin has already come out and said, Shedeur Sanders is not coming into a game. I mean, unless he absolutely has to, Dylan gets hurt. He's not playing until he has a full week of practice and a game plan designed for him. Why would you just put him in the fourth quarter to hand the ball off to ice the game? Then people are going to be mad, they didn't let him throw the ball. Well, no kidding. We were up 31-6.
It's raining.
It's raining. Like, you're not going to just let Dylan just ride the game out. And like, I saw somebody post on Twitter that said Dylan totally deserved to go take that kneel down in victory formation for his first ever victory in the NFL at home, in front of his home crowd. Absolutely. There's all that kind of stuff comes into play.
Miami's been snooping around Cleveland. Yeah, that Cleveland, the city that somehow manages to make even the most talented players look miserable. And the second that leak hits the airwaves, the whole league does a double take like, wait, Miami wants who? The Dolphins, desperate for energy and headlines, are gearing up to raid the Browns bench like it's a clearance sale. And sitting right there, polished, patient, and practically glowing with swagger, is Shedeur Sanders, the rookie everyone knows could tear up defenses and look flawless doing it. He's got the arm, the confidence, and the charisma to turn a huddle into a highlight reel. Meanwhile, Cleveland's pretending they're calm, saying all the right things in press conferences, acting like they're not sweating bullets. But deep down, they know they messed this up. They benched Shedeur behind Gabriel, wasting that golden rookie momentum and turning his debut season into a sad lesson in how to kill hype before it even breathes. Now, the same team that made him invisible is about to get finessed by a franchise that hasn't had a real quarterback since Dan Marino's haircut was considered elite. It's poetic justice with a Florida twist. One team too blind to see what they've got, and another too desperate not to take the shot. And Miami fans, oh, they're loving every second of it. The city's buzzing, timelines are exploding, and everyone's already picturing Shedeur lighting up Hard Rock Stadium under those South Beach lights. They're already roasting Cleveland all over the internet, calling it poetic justice. The Browns ignored Shedeur's potential, and now he might escape the frozen misery of Cleveland's endless snowstorm for the sun-soaked chaos of Miami.
So why is nobody talking about how the Cleveland Browns, Andrew Berry, Kevin Stefanski, and Haslam, the owner, are keeping Shedeur Sanders hostage? Before Joe Flacco was traded to the Bengals, the first offer from the Bengals was, for yours truly, Shedeur Sanders. But no, the 5th round pick they drafted, the Cleveland Browns said, we need a 2nd and a 5th round pick. But you can get the veteran Joe Flacco for just a...
Sports radio's lit up like a Christmas tree. Every analyst, every ex-player, every wannabe expert on Twitter suddenly acting like they've been studying Shedeur Sanders and Teal for years. And somewhere out there, a Dolphins fan is photoshopping him in aviator shades, Pitbull blasting in the background, because that's just how Miami rolls. It's wild, it's hilarious, and it makes way too much sense, because this is Miami, baby, the city that treats football like performance art. They don't just play games, they create moments. And for Shedeur Sanders, this isn't just a rumor, it's redemption. He's going from freezing on the Browns sideline to stepping under palm trees with the keys to the most chaotic franchise in the league. From ignored rookie to the face of South Beach swagger, that's not just a comeback, that's a headline waiting to explode. So yeah, call it insane, call it impulsive, call it Miami magic, because this isn't just a trade rumor. This feels like the opening scene of a blockbuster. The stage is set, the lights are blinding, and the world's watching. Shedeur's story isn't ending, it's just beginning. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you on the next one.